Welcome to Model Horse Tack School. My name is Carrie, and today we're working on Polo Pony tack. And we've already done quite a bit. We did the English headstall for the bridle, and there's two options for. So this is Polo Pony here set up. There's two options, and one of them is this Weymouth bit. And so this is what the Weymouth bit looks like. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, so you have the Weymouth bit. I know it's not a great picture. That's what it looks like when it's all tacked up. So here is your Weymouth bit. Now obviously we don't have the actual bit, but we do have the chain because it's a curb, right? These down here is the curb, and there's your snaffle. Okay. So that's the bit we're gonna put on our headstall. So for this, you're gonna need your completed headstall, which is in the playlist. So it's in a previous video in the playlist. If you haven't made it, go back and make that next. We need the actual bit. This here is a Rio Rondo stamped, not cast, but it's a stamped bit. I have a couple of jump rings. These I believe were 3mm. It's because it's easier to attach the chain to the bit if you have it with the jump rings. And then we have some curb chain. Now this was Rio Rondo curb chain. I don't know what the gauge is. They don't tell me, you know, if you go and look at jewelry findings, they don't specify the gauge on the chain most of the time. So you're going to find it in different sizes. And I'm sorry, I don't know what it is. But I got this, I think I got this from Rio Rondo. If not, I got it at Michael's. Michael's has really good findings. That's probably their strength, is their jewelry findings. Okay, so I always like to get these tiny pieces attached quickly. And this particular jump ring has an overlap, which adds bulk. So I'm trying to make sure ends meet. So slightly redoing that. Okay, I'm going to open it up and go ahead and put this on one or the other side. Now it's going to go on this oval loop here at the top. All right. And you want it to go, I mean, it's going to spin around, but sorry, I don't want to ruin my nails doing that. Okay, so we're going to do it like that. And I will probably, I'm not going to do anything with those, because what I want to do then, making sure this is towards the front, I am going to go ahead and put my bit strap right in there. Make sure this is back towards the rings. Okay, and then I'm going to glue that on. Just going to do a fold over. Okay, so on this side, without the chain, I'm going to go to the strap that's for the bit, which is this one right here, and I'm also going to do the same thing, making sure that this points backwards, the loops point backwards. So it goes in through here, and we want to do about the same amount of fold over as we did on the other one, so both sides are even. So I'm going to do I want the fold over to be about the same. Now, if you're using the same model all the time, or the same models, you could probably figure out, and the same chain, you could probably know how many links. I think for dressage, I have that written down on my card, you know, how many links of chain to use for the chain on a double bridle. But so now I'm going to put this on the model. And the important thing now is we're starting to do the fitting. So we want to make sure, so this is to tighten that up, baby. I'm not going to totally buckle it because I have to unbuckle it to get it off. So I'm just going to kind of do that. So I'm just doing through the keeper, not through the buckle. This will help so I can take it off and on without, you know, ruining the model, ears or anything. So it's not final fitting. At final fitting, we'll start trimming off the excess, okay? But the important thing for right now is we need to fit the bridle, I'm sorry, the bit to the horse, okay? So based on this, and again, it's the split in the crown is what I'm using to judge where to put this. All right, so if that has any sticky left in it. Now this is tacky wax, sticky wax, mini holds. Basically, it's a crafter's wax that holds things. I use it a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and put that where it belongs. And then I'm going to take some and put this on the other side. And from there, I can tell that this is too long. Oh, I should not be using anything with teeth. Okay, so I use this so that I can squeeze without leaving an impression on my leather. Okay, that's kind of important. So that's why I use these. I call them skinny fingers. Yeah. Because I'm already pulling really hard. Oops. Might be a little much. It needs to be out of the way. Yeah, I knew that wasn't going to have a lot of stick. Alrighty. There's also sticky dots now. I haven't used them yet. I think I bought some. I haven't used them. So they might work just as good as the sticky wax. All right. So pretty much I should tighten that up just a little bit more. But over here on this side, this is the important thing. I'm trying to figure out. It needs to be snug, but not so tight that it's going to change where the bit position is. So, and I also have a 3mm jump ring to put in there. So I'm going to trim this right there. See how it's laying flat, no twists. And then you're gonna, all right, I know, doesn't look comfortable on the model right now, but they use what's called an S hook, and if you don't do it right, you can gouge the paint on your model. So we could turn this into an S, or I could use a piece of wire to turn it into an S, but these jump rings will work. If you want to get really particular, then you can do that. You get it. It's a piece of wire, or bend these so that they're in an S shape. Rio Rondo actually has S hooks that if you want to not make your own. Alright, so now that I have this open, I want it to be laying flat. That's the important thing. No kinks. No kinks. Alright, see, I think that's a kink right there. That'd be okay. Alright. And then we're going to bring this over. If I can get that to stick to my fingernail, that would be lovely. Don't fall off. And then we're going to tuck it into right there. That's very good. And for stuff like this, it's sometimes easier to use, you know, these craft pliers, because you can get right in there. Fingers can be annoying sometimes. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this again on the model. Well, now let's do a fitting. Make sure we like it. Okay. Not too bad. I still have to do the buckle this up. But next thing we want to do are the reins. Okay. Now reins are going to depend upon the model and the saddle, because when you do this, you don't want too much hanging around, especially with polo, where anything hanging around could get in the way of the swing of your mallet. Okay, so reins are going to be short. You know, they're not going to be way out to here. They're just going to be short, so they're probably going to end right around here. All right, so here's our model. And I'm going to take and use, I'm using 1/16 because there's 2 sets of reins. And so you want something that's going to be small enough. So that would be where I would say once a rider holds it would be right about here. So I would just do to the pommel on this horse, and I'll double that. And if you want, double check it. Okay, so you go from the ring of the bit, and I was doing curb, and it's going to be about the same for the snaffle. So I'm going to cut, I'm going to double that, so that's my first set of reins. Okay, now we have our reins, and they're skived and worked a little bit, because I need to work the leather on that bridle, so it's just a little bit more flexible. But there you go. And reins come in pairs. So right now this is a single. You know, like I said, I just doubled it, but I need to have a buckle on one end. And so I will go ahead and do a buckle. Now this will work if you're just doing a single reined bridle, like a snaffle, or if you're just doing a single rein on the other way that you can do this, Weymouth, which might find a reason to do in the future, I don't know. But we'll see. There's different ways, but this is just how you can set up your reins. How to measure them for what you're doing. And so once I've got that, I'll go ahead and buckle this. Okay, and you don't need very much right here. And then we just do this in half. And there you go. Split it like that. And now they should be equal sized with the buckle on there, okay? And that's how you get the buckle dead center on your rings. It's, after having done this enough times, you're gonna end up with the buckle side ends up being shorter because of fold over and everything, or it ends up longer because of putting this in, you know. So I found that if I do this, and you can even glue down this little tab here, okay, because this is really decorative, it's not functional. There we go, it's buckled, and now we do it so it's directly in half, see? And then that's where I'm going to go ahead and put my slit. Okay. And I'll just go ahead and glue this down. That way I know she's not going to come apart. Doing tack up. Nobody will know. No one will know. All right. Now, as far as rein connection, so there's different ways. There's buckle, and then there's one where they go back on themselves. I don't know if you've seen that, where it's a loop, and then you slide the rein in through the loop. And I prefer that one because A, it doesn't use hardware, B, because these buckles, even though they're really tiny, they're still a little bit out of scale. So I'm going to need some skived 1/16 inch, and then I need the bridle. And we're going to do one pair on each set of rings. So when it comes to lace, kangaroo, it's really good. Okay, and it's probably the best is kangaroo. In case you're wondering, you can use cow. I've been using my Kip for leather lace, and that's been working out pretty good. Or you have cow, a more mature animal, and so their skin tends to be a little tougher. So I don't really appreciate using cow. All right. I'm trying to make sure we don't get anything twisted. Okay, and you could probably just leave it like that, but I would, just for if you want a little more realistic, is basically it's a keeper. We're gonna do a fixed keeper on the ends of all of these, and just a wrap, I guess, is another way to do it, because at this very tip here is where that loop would be, and so I'm going to fake like that is. Yes, it's and unlike a keeper, I don't care if it gets glued to the other side. Okay. So I don't know what if you think it makes a difference. I think just that little detail can help make a difference. So it does look like it has that little loop that it had to go through. So I'm going to go ahead and do that to the others. This is the Weymouth English Bridle. It's all done. I added some more keepers just to keep it all neat and tidy. You can see that. And pretty much we did a fit to the model. And it is good to go. I hope you like that. Thank you for spending time with me today. Like, subscribe, tell your friends about the channel, and have yourself a really good day.